Hi there. Let's talk today about the seventh argument against postmillennialism. I hope you guys are getting something out of these videos. When I did the debate, it was just really rushed and I couldn't go through them as slowly as I wanted to. There was just way too much to say. So hopefully you're getting something out of these videos. So let's talk about the seventh argument against postmillennialism. All right, here it is. The reality of the world around us. The reality of the world around us. So, this doctrine of postmillennialism was really put together and defined as a system of theology in the 17th century. So, since the 17th century AD, all the way up into the present time, advocates have been believing that this would take place, but yet it hasn't happened. Now, since Jesus died on the cross and was resurrected, it's been almost 2,000 years. So I'm sure maybe some have said throughout the history of time, those that have believed this doctrine, that we had entered into the golden age, into the millennial reign. But that's crazy because ever since Christ has resurrected, all the way up into the present, we have seen no golden age, right? We have seen war after war, natural disaster after natural disaster, hatred and violence and sin and perversion, and it's all over the world. It's not like certain sections are void of this, right? Let's be realistic about this. Certainly, we have never reached this golden age. Certainly, we have never hit the millennium. Now, most postmillennialists will say, well, that's because it hasn't happened yet. I guess that's where you have to fall because obviously it hasn't happened yet. But I would say the Bible makes it very clear that it happens after Jesus returns, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. But anyways, let's look at some of the statistics here. There is evidence that crucial areas of the world are getting worse and not better. Despite improvements in the areas of health and education and extreme poverty in many parts of the world. So there has been some improvements. I'm not denying that. But in many ways, it's gone worse. There's significant decline in the environment, in personal safety, in political and religious freedom, in crucial areas all over the world. Let's be realistic, right? This is not to mention all the violence, all the murders, and all the wars all over the world, right? Based on a study out of Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary, it's actually where I got my master's degree, great seminary. It said this, that over 70 million Christians have been martyred over the last 2,000 years. Over 70 million Christians have been martyred over the last 2,000 years, and that over half of these deaths occurred in the 20th century. Over half of those deaths occurred in the 20th century alone. So things haven't gone better, they've gone worse, right? So there's been more persecutions of Christians in the 20th century than in all other centuries combined. The 20th century saw 2 world wars and an unending series of smaller or lesser wars. The 20th century saw the rise of Nazism and its slaughter of 6 million Jews and millions of Christians. We don't know how many millions of Christians. Joel Richardson said this on a Facebook post of his. He said this, Joel Richardson. He says, if Jesus is exercising his messianic reign over the earth now, what exactly has his reign ended? Has it ended war? Has it ended oppression of the poor? Has it ended injustice in courts and governments? Has it ended persecution of the saints? Has it ended famine? Has it ended demonic deception? Has it ended death? What does his reign currently allow? The slaughter of Christians worldwide? Christians trafficked and abused? Nations built on violence and greed? False religions flourishing unchecked? Satan binding the minds of unbelievers? Creation groaning under decay? What does his rule presently do for his people? Are believers promised relief from suffering now? Are sickness and disease abolished? Are martyrs an anomaly or the norm? Why do the apostles consistently describe Christian life as suffering, exile, and endurance rather than victory and dominion? If this is what the reign of the Messiah looks like, it bears little resemblance to anything the prophets actually promised. I thought that was an excellent quote by Joel Richardson. So it's the reality of the world around us, present day and throughout the last 2,000 years. And obviously his messianic reign has not happened. And I believe, as do other premillennialists, that is because it happens after Jesus returns. Hope this helps you guys. God bless you.